How to do a bad job and still make bank. So Intel's CEO Pat Gelsinger just stepped down, and it's probably the most interesting thing that you will read this week. But here's the key. I think Gelsinger's issues with Intel were not really just his fault. The problem he has been dealing with have been brewing over a decade or maybe even two. Back when Intel was super proud of being a leader in the semiconductors and CPUs, they got a bit too cocky perhaps. They thought the mobile CPU market was too small to bother with, like when the first iPhone came out. They missed the boat on mobile CPU and did not really see the upcoming rise of AI chips, now led by who? NVIDIA. The management just did not have the vision to see what was coming next. So it's really not fair to say that, Gelsinger was incompetent. You cannot expect someone to fix a decade-long problem just in 3 years, not even close to that. When he was hired in 2021, maybe the expectations were not set right, perhaps. It's like expecting a baby in less than 9 months, right? Or you want 9 women to deliver one baby in 1 month. It just doesn't work that way. Even CEOs have to answer to the board, as you can see in this in this scenario. And when the expectations were not met, they just have to go, or they are fired, or politely shown the door. Now, as someone who are trained and has worked as an engineer, I can relate. Now, it's really frustrating when your bosses, your managers only care about the shipment, the revenue numbers, which ultimately, yes, it will affect stock prices if the numbers are not met, right? The profits or whatnot. It's all about hitting the targets, right? To keep the shareholders happy. But Intel board, I think, was probably feeling a bit FOMO, or a lot FOMO, fear of missing out, seeing that the stock price dropped like 50-60% just for this year alone, while NVIDIA actually skyrocketed. Gelsinger's big turnaround plan now is in the trash, down the drain, with him gone, and whoever that takes over the CEO position would now have to start from scratch, and it's not an easy job. Probably the worst and the most challenging job in the world when it comes to semiconductor and tech sector right now. Because if Intel board were to believe in his plan, were to have faith in him, even after 3 years, they wouldn't have asked him to leave, right? He was given, so I read, he was given an option to actually to retire, step down, or to be fired. And obviously, anyone in the same mind would choose to step down with dignity intact. And I've heard from friends, or clients working in Intel, that for the past few years, actually for quite a long time, there's this culture and the product just lack of innovation. What this one thing I want to quote what somebody told me about is like trying to make a truck run like a Ferrari, which just doesn't work. You need time, to redesign, a car from ground up if you want to make it like a Ferrari. So it should be designed like a race car, right? You just don't try to modify your lorry to run like a Ferrari, and that needs time. And I think that Pat Gelsinger just wasn't given enough time, right, to turn around, right? Very ambitious, audacious turnaround. Intel's been lagging in tech and innovation for years. So, I would say as an outsider, probably it's not just the CEO fault. Sometimes you have to wonder if it's the leadership of the company or the company culture, that's the problem. It's just like if you are in one relationship or one marriage after another and you keep on break up or divorce and all that, you have to ask yourself and you have to look yourself in the mirror whether you are the problem, right? And not other people's problem. So in short term, I think, what I've observed is that the stock market, like the news, the moment it was announced that the CEO leave, that was like 2 days ago, and the Intel stock price kind of like went up a bit, but then probably just a temporary bump or a dead cat bounce. The takeaway here is that if you are in a high level position, right, probably you just get in, get paid, get out. Even if you get fired, just like Gelsinger, you can still make millions, at least a lot of money, right? No hard feelings, just get paid and move on. But what I do really feel is that for Intel staff, right, especially, in the Malaysian context, especially, those engineers, talented engineers or staff that are doing great work, right, with the new management in place soon, likely there will be a major restructuring, and some talented people might get caught in the crossfire, might get axed, might get into the chopping block. there's really no loyalty anymore. So if you are highly skilled, get in, get paid, preferably upfront, and then get out. You will still retire with more wealth than before. And I know this is because over the past years, there has been some voluntary separation schemes that have been going around, and some of it I got new clients that come to me to look at their entire retirement plan or retirement planning to see if they overlook or underestimated anything, especially if they get that big payout by leaving the company. So that is something sort of a lesson for each of us. And I just want to say that life has to go on, and you definitely can get rich being an employee. People say, yeah, you have to get do business to get rich. No, imagine if Pat Gelsinger was the CEO of his own company. If the turnaround plan fail, he's going to go bankrupt. But no, as an employee, you still say bye bye, get paid handsomely, and leave. And whatever happens after that is really not your problem anymore. What do you think?